I hope not, but I don't know. I think, yeah, I think human beings have a natural propensity to sort of make the best out of their environments, and sometimes they do it in a way which is sustainable, and sometimes they just, they use what they find. It's going to be a very interesting question, obviously a science fiction question right now, but how we're going to treat non-Earth bound resources, because do we feel any responsibility for them at all? It's a welcome surprise. It's not that much of a surprise. It's welcome, it's not a surprise. But in all honesty, it wasn't those films that we were referencing. It was actually a later generation of science fiction films from the 70s and 80s, things like Outland and Silent Running and the original Alien. So basically, I understand where it's coming from, but the films we were referencing are the ones that were referencing 2001 and Solaris. So we're kind of a second generation reference. I hope I don't disappoint you when I tell you this, but I'm not particularly musical. Basically, I've only started to appreciate music in the last few years. It was always kind of a bit of a rebellion for me to not be involved in music that much. So I was a jock, and I used to play loads of sports, and I was really into filmmaking and visuals, and less so into music. But yeah, it's been the last 10 years maybe where I've started to listen to music, and as far as sort of how it's inspired the project, we were using a lot of Requiem for a Dream soundtrack as placeholder when we were doing the offline. We were also using some of the Insider soundtrack and a couple of other pieces of music that I really loved and thought were evocative and felt right for the film. So it was almost natural that we were desperately wanting Clint to be involved, because it was like his music was inspiring the sort of pace and the feel of the film. And to have him involved was a huge coup for us, and he's such a lovely guy. And I actually met him way before the film, once before, and we get on very well. There's some nice little secrets in there, actually. One day, if we get to the point where we've got a DVD and you can pause it, all the plants are named after different science fiction directors. So there's like a Ridley and a Doug and a Catherine Bigelow, and there's all these different. All the plants have different names. But no, as far as Sam's improvising, I was very fortunate, especially again at this indie budget, to be able to go out to New York and spend a week with Sam. And with an actor friend of his, Yul Vasquez, and we worked through the script for a solid week, doing it as the script specified, but then also improvising scenes and sometimes changing things completely. So we had an awful lot of experience on the meat of the story before we got out to actually shooting it, and I did a lot of rewriting after that week in New York. But yeah, a lot of things came up, and I think all for the better. I think Sam was able to nail the fact that it needed more up moments, it needed more comedy moments to really make the melancholy of the rest of the story really come through. So he brought a huge, besides the acting, he brought a huge amount to the actual storytelling that I really think enhanced it. It makes me hugely excited because the limitations on this were really strict, really phenomenal, very, very difficult. And I'm sure it'll always be like that, but I'm pretty sure it'll never be as bad as this last one. I mean, it was hard work. We did a couple of major special effects scenes in one take because we had to. So I mean, that's the kind of thing that hopefully I won't have to do too many times again.